Peter Harburg, you've got your 73 Porsche 917/30 here at the Sydney Harbour Concours. I haven't seen one of these for many, many years. The last one in North California with Bruce Canepa, who's a big Porsche specialist. How long have you had yours?
About 20 years.
Okay.
I bought it. This is one of 3 cars built in the factory. The first one, Chassis 2, it was the first development that Donahue and Porsche made for Penske, and Donahue crashed that very badly at the beginning of the season. He was in hospital for months, and so then the factory put chassis number 3 together, and that's the one he raced in '73. And they then made 3 more. They were going to have customer cars as well. They made 3 more chassis, and then halfway through, a bit less than halfway through the season, they said, Porsche said, hey, this is good, isn't it? We're winning everything. We should, but what happens if he crashes it like he did the first one? So, not thinking of his safety, they said, well, we'll build another one. Yeah. So they pulled chassis 5 out of the pile of 3 and built the car. And that was the spare car ready for the next year as the spare car. Unfortunately, because of his utter domination of the CanAm series, everyone lost interest in it. Why would you go to see how much Donahue was going to win by? And so they banned it. The popularity dropped, the manufacturers pulled out, so they banned it the next year. They banned it by cutting down the fuel it could have. And so this one never raced. So the Chassis 2, which is the crashed one, Porsche took back and rebuilt it, and it's in the museum. Chassis 3 is in private hands in America. That's the golden one. That's the one he won everything in. This one I've had painted. I bought it. Jerry Sutterfield bought it from the factory, and it's on record that at the time it was the most expensive Porsche ever sold at that time. But he did a bit of demonstration and racing it, but it was white. But when I bought it, I had it painted in the Sunoco livery, because not to copy the Donahue one, but as tribute to it more than anything. It's the only one that ever raced in period, that car. And so, but I've raced this quite a bit at Laguna Seca, at Porsche Rennsport, and the historics there, and in Australia. In fact, next weekend it's going to be down at Phillip Island, and at Goodwood a few times. So, but it was made. Now the other 2, chassis 4 and 6, 4 was sold to Alan Hamilton in Australia, who built up the car. And he used mainly Porsche 917 parts, so it's pretty original. But then Porsche Factory actually came into ownership of that later, and even made it more genuine. And the last one was 6. That was went to Vasse Pollock in Los Angeles, and he built it up, and it had a Porsche chassis anyhow. But so I don't know which one you would have seen with Canepa. Perhaps Jerry Seinfeld owns chassis 4. As I say, 3's in private hands. I wish they were mine. No, it is the genuine. It is the original, the car. And then the Vasse Pollock one, I don't know who's got that now.
Yeah, the Canepa designs big Porsche guys up in Northern California have a range of different cars going through them all the time. And it would have been about 15 years ago that I was up there walking through the workshop and the showroom that they have, and I just saw the 917. I thought, holy cow, you rarely see one of these anywhere.
Well, only 3 of them, yeah.
Yeah. And so, it's such a surprise to see it here today as well, because they are so rare.
Yeah, they are very rare, but to me it's a very special car, and I do bring it out quite often in events, even in local, club events to show it to people. I think it's nice for people to see it, and it is an enormous thrill to drive it.
Yeah. I bet, because I've seen footage of the CanAm races, and they would have been wild in their day with some of the competitors in there. And then you're saying you're going down to Phillip Island in a couple of weeks for the HSRCA and historic flight with Victoria?
Next weekend.
Yeah. Sadly, I can't make that one, but hopefully I'll see you at a meeting up here with it on track.
Yeah, I'll have it in Brisbane. I come from Brisbane, and that's where the car stays. I'm taking it I will take it and support the historics there. But if I can't take it everywhere, I got other commitments as well. But I take it wherever I can. I think it's a responsibility. But if you've seen film of the CanAm was an interesting series. It had rules. The rules were that it had to have 4 wheels and a steering wheel, and that was literally it. Whatever size motor you want, whatever, anything. And that's why they got to be 1,500 horsepower cars. And Donahue famously said once, when you can leave 2 black strips from the exit of one corner to the entrance to the other, then you know you've got enough horsepower.
The interesting thing about these is you've got Porsche Audi on them. Was that part of the marketing for Audi to get into the States? Because it is an unusual combination.
Well, they Audi own Porsche now, don't they?
Yeah.
But I don't know what the tie-up was. I guess it was some sponsorship or something. I don't know what it is, but it was a Sunoco. Sunoco supported it. Donahue's car in 1974, they took it down to Talladega and set a world record of 230 miles an hour average speed.
Yeah.
They say he was doing over 300 miles an hour on the straights. Unfortunately, the weekend after he did that, he was killed in the Austrian Grand Prix, which is very sad. He was a great driver, incredible driver. But they are an exciting car, wonderful car.
Well, I look forward to seeing it on track on one of the events. I'll look out for it down here or wherever I am, and I see it, I'll come and say hello to you again. Thank you for your time today. It's been a pleasure to look at the car.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.